Okay, thank you, Michael. But I think I can explain. So, I guess people are going on about this zombie apocalypse. Excuse me, this zombie apocalypse, and I want to go over a few things that some going-ons in Florida as far as mental health is concerned, because mental health in Florida is being cut every year, okay? And what this means is that someone's ability to receive mental health care becomes inherently unmaintained. It becomes more and more impossible each year. So, if you're cutting the mental health, then situations like what's going on in Florida are going to happen. Florida right now, as it stands today, is the second worst state in the entire United States to receive mental health care. Okay, so what we could be seeing is, and now I want to go over one more thing real quick, is people say that these attacks are said to be the result of bath salts and LSD. Okay, so apparently it's become very common to do both of these at the same time. Now, one of the big underlying problems when dealing with mental health is talking about drug addiction, okay? If you're addicted to drugs, you may be subject to underlying mental health issues, okay? Things like dementia can be caused or brought to the surface by drug abuse, particularly in methamphetamine abuse. You can also have psychotic withdrawals, okay? Psychotic episodes from this drug abuse. Now, bath salts are practically methamphetamine. They do the same thing, okay? They hype you up, and then you're doing LSD alongside, so that becomes a problem. Okay, you start hallucinating, so the potential there is to believe that you are a zombie. Okay, maybe. Okay. Now, when the healthcare system fails in places like Florida, things like this might happen. Now, what I find troubling is that the frequency in which they're happening, okay, that doesn't mean there's a zombie apocalypse, okay? This could very well just be coincidence that it's happening in rapid succession in Florida. I seriously wouldn't panic about a zombie apocalypse, but a couple things I want to go over are when, do you guys remember when on the news they were talking about all the birds and the fish that were dying? And everybody was freaking out. They're like, oh my God, it's going to be 2012. The world's going to end. I don't know what I'm going to do. Okay, my kids are going to die. And it's weird. And I don't like it. The birds, they're all dying and I like birds. And fish is tasty. Okay, well, this actually happens very often. And this happens all the time, all over the world. Birds and fish drop out of the sky and fall out of the ocean. Okay? It happens. It just happens, okay? So things like this also happen. Now, the difference, why we're hearing about it, is our capacity to spread information on such a rapid level. We have things like YouTube and CNET, okay? And it's like the more information you can pass around, the more people are going to hear about it, okay? So I'm sure this isn't an isolated incident. However, it's happening in a place like Florida. And in places like Florida, this is a big tourist attraction, okay? You're going to hear about these things more when they happen there. It doesn't mean they're not happening anywhere else. It just means they're happening in a place that's a high priority for people to visit and want to go to on vacation. So it's going to be talked about more, okay? Just like if this happened in Los Angeles, or in Las Vegas, or New York, or Washington, D.C., it would be all over the place, okay? But this happens. This happens regularly. I don't want to say it's part of the human condition, but it may be, okay? These things happen. What we're seeing isn't new in the world. These things happen all the time. Okay, it doesn't mean there's a zombie apocalypse. It doesn't mean all the fish in the world are going to die. It doesn't mean all the birds are going to die. Okay, this is just cycle. It's just cycle. It's like ice ages. They happen. It's like global warming. It just happens. Okay, I'm not going to argue about our capacity to accelerate or not accelerate it. That's not what I'm talking about. Global warming happens on its own, naturally, and it's usually succeeded by an ice age. Okay, that's a cycle the planet goes through. Okay, so these things just happen, alright? And don't panic yet. Okay, maybe though, maybe there's a zombie apocalypse and we're all gonna die and we're all gonna turn into zombies and we're all gonna lock ourselves up in a mall and wait for a helicopter to save us, you know, like in the movies and the video games. But don't start stacking up the canned foods and buying swords and guns just yet. Wait for it to get a little more out of hand, okay? Wait for it to hit like the next state over and then go, okay, there might be a fucking problem. We might need to start buying guns and swords, okay? Alright guys, well this has been Headache from HeadachePlays. I just wanted to talk about this a little bit. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. Thank you all.